Good morning, everybody. I'm Chris Ronayne, Cuyahoga County Executive, and we welcome all of you to this new Cuyahoga County Board of Elections. Let's give our entire team a round of applause. I'm joined here today by Council President Dale Miller, Board of Elections Director Anthony Perlotti, Cuyahoga County Board of Elections Deputy Director Anthony Kaloger, Cuyahoga County Board of Elections Chair Henry Curtis, and also our fellow board members at the BOE, former Justice, now Board of Elections member of the board, Melody Stewart, board member Terry McCafferty, and Lisa Sticknia. So thank you. And I see many members of our community, our mayors, our county council members, our city council members, and many members of our staff here at Cuyahoga County, here at the Board of Elections, but also throughout the Cuyahoga County team. So thank you, Team Cuyahoga, for all coming here today. And we really appreciate our elected officials for being with us today. You spend time here yourselves getting ready for your elections, but today is really about our voters. And we hope that we are delivering to the Cuyahoga County voters a very special new voting place that they deserve. So thank you for joining us in this celebration in this important day for Cuyahoga County and for the Board of Elections. Again, to public service and to secure fair elections. I want to say very much it's taken a team to get us here, to get to today here at 1803 Superior Avenue, our new address. I should say we look back to our predecessors at the Plain Dealer and we thank them for having built such a beautiful building. I met with the former publisher of the Plain Dealer the other day, Alex Macheski, and complimented him on the beautiful building that he built. I think there is some symmetry from this once being a media space to being a place of democracy as a Board of Elections. And so we take a profound pride in being here. But to our election staff who work here year round, thank you. This is here, as we all know, to protect our voters and our citizens' rights for fair elections and to facilitate democracy. This space offers modern infrastructure that we have long needed. Anybody knows from our last Board of Elections site, and I thank you again, I'm looking out at workers who've worked there all these years. It was time. I think we all agree. Wasn't it time to make the move? It was long past time. We needed modern infrastructure. We needed to give our Board of Elections workers the tools that they need to do their jobs effectively and efficiently. It's a workspace worthy of the critical work that they do. For voters, this is your new hub of civic engagement. It's where you can vote early. It's where you can return your vote by mail ballots and access trusted information about the election process. We're here at the Board of Elections to serve you. It's centrally located. It's easily accessible. It's well designed to serve the public. It was important to us to be on transit lines with the GCRTA as our partner, a very important way for people to get to their election site. But it's also important that we had adequate parking for both our visitors and our workers. And as you know, in our last facility, we did not have adequate parking. So it is good to be in a place that fully serves and fully delivers on modern needs. This building delivers on my promise earlier on to voters when I ran for county executive. I pledged to modernize and improve the facilities where our employees work because our public servants deserve better workspaces that match the importance of the work they do. And today, I'm proud to say I kept the promise. And mostly, we kept that promise to our voters. We have many partners that went into making this happen. The building eventually will house several departments. So within this building also will be many of our health and human service workers, many of whom are here today. That means that residents can also get the support they need on site, again, from voting and vital services, but also every other human service need under this roof. It's an innovative use of public space, and more connected approach to how we serve people. So our Board of Elections, next door to our Health and Human Services office, it's really a great marriage between the two. The new Cuyahoga County Board of Elections headquarters reflects the best of what county government can do when we work together. It's forward-looking, it's people-centered, and it's rooted in collaboration. This building is an example of what's possible when we work together to meet the needs of both our workforce and our community. So again, I thank you, everyone who played a part in making this vision a reality. I want to say a special thanks to two teams. The law department of Cuyahoga County worked tirelessly to make this transaction happen with those that we were working across the aisle trying to work with to make sure we could lease this space. We have a long-term lease on this, which assures a great future for our voters. But I also want to thank the Public Works team who built this out on time and on budget, and thank you for getting it ready for today. Finally, back to the BOE and HHS teams. This is your home. This is where you're going to be working. And thank you to the Board of Elections and our Health and Human Services team for making this work. But once again, to our public officials who are here today, from Cleveland City Council to County Council to mayors throughout our cities and villages of Cuyahoga County, thank you for being with us, because you know more than anybody that this is the citizen space, and we needed to have a really 21st century modern space for voters to assure democracy. Lastly, I want to say to our bargaining units, our labor units that are with us, thank you for working with us, for sticking with us. This is also about you and creating better workspaces. Gail, to you and your team, we need you. So let's do this together. Let's open this together. There's a few more speeches to be had, but I think when I think of this building, first of all, we got it done. We got it done on time and on budget because we put our heads together to work together to make things happen as they should. And we did it for the people to create a better space for those who will be voting here and seeking out human services here. We do great things when we team together to make things happen in Cuyahoga County. Honored to be your Cuyahoga County executive, and really proud to this day that we are open for business with the new Board of Elections. And we will have another ribbon cutting with Health and Human Services when that day comes. But it's now my honor to bring about my colleague, Cuyahoga County Council President Dale Miller. Thank you.
Good morning, Cuyahoga County Board of Elections. On behalf of Cuyahoga County Council, I offer my congratulations to everyone who worked hard to make this vision a reality. I also offer congratulations on behalf of Vice President and HHS Chair Yvonne Conwell, whose district we're in. She was to speak this morning, but a pair of late emergencies arose requiring that I take over. I would also like to take this opportunity to introduce my colleagues on County Council who are here, starting from my left, your right, Councilman Michael Hauser and Councilman Mark Castleberry and Robert Schlepper and Meredith Turner, Sonny Simon, and Purnell Jones. We all recognize the great importance of this event. While this move may be just up the road, the impact this new headquarters will have on our voters is significant. With increased space, we'll be able to better serve the public, especially during those high turnout early voting periods. There's more room to move, a more efficient queuing system, and a greater capacity to handle the growing number of voters who are choosing to cast their ballots early. And there's something I know our voters will truly appreciate: significantly improved parking. That might not seem like a big deal to some. For the people of Cuyahoga County, especially during early voting and on election day, it will make a world of difference. I'm also excited that some of our Health and Human Services divisions will now call this building home. I see firsthand the dedication of our HHS staff. They work tirelessly every day to serve our residents, often under challenging circumstances, and they deserve a modern, bright, and welcoming space like this to support their efforts. This project reflects the county's ongoing commitment to strengthening access to the ballot. None of this would have been possible without the collaboration and thoughtful input of my county council colleagues. I want to thank them for their partnership, for engaging in robust discussions, and for asking tough but important questions that helped shape this project into what we see today. Congratulations to our Board of Elections team, our Public Works team, HHS staff, and to all of you for being part of this important moment for Cuyahoga County. Cuyahoga County has a history of safe, fair, and well-run elections, and that is thanks to our director and his outstanding staff who do great work in running our elections. And it is now my honor and privilege to introduce Anthony Perlotti, Director of the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our new home. Glad to see you all here. Elections have changed tremendously since we elected our first president in 1789 to electing our 47th president just last year in 2024. And in Ohio specifically, we had a huge change that came about with a law change in 2005. And that's when no-fault absentee voting was implemented. And no-fault absentee voting allows you to cast a vote-by-mail ballot without having a reason of going on vacation, but it also includes voting early in person. And Cuyahoga County voters embraced this from the start, and they have been the largest users of absentee voting since this law happened. Every year, no one casts more vote-by-mail ballots than Cuyahoga County. And I can't say the same for early in-person voting yet, but we will surpass, because if you build it, they will come. It happened in other large counties around the state. So up to this point, we did the best that we could administering the elections with early in-person voting and all the other tasks that we're required to in that little building that we had at the corner of East 30th and Euclid Avenue. And it's a good building, but that building just wasn't built for how elections are run today in Ohio. Now, Executive Ronayne agreed that improving the county's election facility was paramount and made partnering with the Board of Elections to solve this challenge a priority early on in his first year in office in 2023. And I am extremely grateful for that. County Executive Ronayne, as well as all of County Council, the board members, and my staff here, we all deeply cherish and understand the importance of an individual's right to vote and how necessary it was for all the entities in this room to come together to partner to give the voters and the candidates the facility that they deserve. And what a beautiful facility this is, and we can all be proud of. So on behalf of the board members, Deputy Director Gallagher, my election staff, and from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank Executive Ronayne for having the vision and County Council for prioritizing the necessity to enhance the voting experience for Cuyahoga County residents. I also want to thank the Department of Public Works and Information Technology for their large efforts and their expertise during this project, which is still ongoing, but it has been something. Navigating a major construction project like this, and then the relocation around election cycles is not simple. And I think we all learned a lot going through this process about that. I also want to thank the board members for believing in Deputy Director Gallagher and me to lead the agency through this project. Having faith in our judgment, our business acumen, and the ability to make the numerous and necessary and at times complex decisions that are needed to bring us where we are today at 1803 Superior. And I also want to thank the first-in-class staff who make up the Board of Elections. Without their dedication to the voters and their craft, none of this could have been possible. With Deputy Director Gallagher and I needing to spend quite a bit of time on this project, we relied heavily on staff to go above and beyond in their duties, and they did excellent in delivering the 8 elections that we conducted from when this project commenced in 2023 through this last May 6th primary. Elections never stop. Lastly, I want to thank Deputy Director Gallagher. He has been rock solid throughout this process. He has the tenacity of a pit bull, but able to communicate very diplomatically and in a professional demeanor and an approach. When my Sicilian blood gets all fired up and I'm ready to rip things off wall, he's the calming factor who brings me back down, and we go ahead and we move forward together. And so I think I would like to get a round of applause for all the staff at the Board of Elections who made this possible. Now, this building is not just big and beautiful. It furthers the board's mission of delivering secure, fair, and accessible elections. Right-sizing the infrastructure allows for more controls to make sure everyone who is eligible and wants to vote can vote in a safe place with ease of parking, good lighting, clear signage, and a location consistency from election to election, which is key. As some of you know, you never knew where you were going to park at the old building because it was whatever we could lease for that. Not anymore. An election administration has unfairly come under attack in recent years, and our new space here improves our abilities to continue to deliver accurate and accessible elections with integrity, and then now take it to a new level. This will only help in our mission to prove the critics wrong on their false claims regarding elections and keep the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections as a role model for running good elections in the state of Ohio. Around the state, we are known as the great state of Cuyahoga for what we do, and this will only help to further our mission in doing that. And now I have the honor of introducing my friend and colleague, Deputy Director Tony Gallagher.
Thank you. The new Board of Elections headquarters has and will provide many operational improvements. And today I'm going to touch on a few of those operational improvements and some of the nuts and bolts and things that this building and this new headquarters will offer. As has been said, our old building over on Euclid Avenue, we only had 40 parking spaces that we controlled. But here on this campus, we have hundreds of parking spaces that will be available for voters. The previous building was nice, but compared to other large counties, it was small in comparison. We didn't have enough room for line queuing. Oftentimes voters had to wait outside in the line in the extreme heat and cold and rain and so forth. But this early vote center is 60% larger in this area right here than the previous vote center. And with it, we have more room for check-in stations, voting booths, and ballot scanners. We also have the front lobby over there and the hallway space that will be able to be used for line queuing so that we can pull that line into the building and voters can come inside from the elements. Another improvement within our campus here is our absentee services department. All their operations will now be in one place on this campus. In this room, they will run the early vote center. On the other end of the building, on the east side, they'll be running their nursing home program. In the large garage behind me here, there's an enclosed space which will house our high-speed vote by mail machine envelope openers, our ballot scanners, and it will have terminals for our verification operators to verify a voter's signature and voter information. All these processes will be on this campus, and depending on whether it's a heavy early in-person voting day or a heavy mail day, they'll be able to shift their resources accordingly. An interesting fact is Cuyahoga County and Franklin County are neck and neck when it comes to the number of registered voters in our counties. Cuyahoga County has consistently, as our director said, been #1 in the state when it comes to vote by mail. In the last presidential election, Cuyahoga County accounted for 16% of all the vote by mail ballots cast in Ohio. Franklin County was second with 12% and Hamilton County with third. However, when it comes to early in-person voting, Franklin County was #1. They had 8%. Hamilton County was #2 with 6%, and Cuyahoga County was third with 4%. Now, and the thing is with Hamilton County is they have they're only 2/3 our size, and yet they still had 1/3 more early in-person voting. Now, numbers don't lie, but they don't tell the whole story. If you were to go to their early in-person vote centers, they were much larger. They had large parking lots that they controlled, that voters could easily come and cast those ballots. As the director said, if you build it, they will come. I believe that with this new vote center, Cuyahoga County will not only dominate the state in early in-person voting, but vote by mail, but also early in-person voting. Another area of operational improvements will be for state petitions. Last year, we had 2 large state petitions. We hired 75 verification operators who were at our old building. We had them, that's all we could fit was 75 people to process them. And in a very short timetable, that's very challenging. We had them scattered over 4 floors of management. When you go out here on the east side of the building, you will see a large area that once housed the plain dealer reporters. Now that area offers us 90 workstations where our verification operators can work together in a bipartisan manner on one floor in one place. These are some of the operational improvements that we will see. Another thing is poll worker training. Last November, we had our poll worker training sessions taking place in 10 different locations. Above us is an area that will have shared training spaces. We'll be able to train our poll workers on this campus. And, you know, although we will still maintain some neighborhood training locations, we envision this area to be a hub for accessible, easy to access poll worker training. And finally, there's also a trickle down effect with our absentee services department moving from the 5th floor of Halley. We saw the opportunity to add much needed efficiencies to our ballot and election support department. Now, rather than moving our voting equipment and supplies back and forth to a rented warehouse, we will now be able to conduct our packing, staging, and distribution of election equipment from the Halley warehouse. This is critical when you consider all the tight timelines and last minute changes that come along with the election business. There's much more that I could say. I also want to thank the county and our board members. I also just want to thank Director Perlotti. He is honest, forward-thinking director who gets the most out of his staff while having fun. And he's definitely the better half of the 2 Tonys, I would say. I also want to thank our hardworking managers and staff that work together to help make Cuyahoga County a model in election administration. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our chairman, Henry Curtis. Henry Curtis was a manager in our poll worker department for 13 years. And I'll tell you, a lot of the experience and knowledge that he comes in as chairman has really been beneficial to this agency and this department. He is a community leader and a pastor, and he and his wife have 5 children. So I'd like for you to welcome our chairman, Henry Curtis.
Thank you, Deputy Director Gallagher. We are certainly blessed to live in the state of Ohio. Because of our 50 states, Ohio is the national leader in election administration. And I stand before you today and proudly proclaim that Cuyahoga County is a leader among leaders. Today is a great day for the citizens of Cuyahoga County, as we now have a first-class facility in which to conduct elections. And Deputy Director Gallagher just took us up to another level. We no longer have a building, we have a campus. You've arrived when you get a campus. Our board had a vision, and we had a vision that the day would surely come when voters in our county would exercise their right to vote, candidates would conduct business, and staff would do their work in a modern and hospitable environment. And I'm happy to report that day has indeed arrived. Gone are the days of our citizens having to dodge traffic, park several blocks away, and stand in line outside in the elements in order to cast a vote. This state-of-the-art building, or campus as I should say, has safe and ample parking and a generous amount of space to accommodate voters inside as they wait their turn to cast their ballot. Many thanks to County Executive Chris Ronayne and his staff, members of the County Council, and our Board of Elections Director, Deputy Director, members, and staff who worked together in a bipartisan effort to deliver this new Board of Elections headquarters. A building, a campus, a facility that the voters and citizens of Cuyahoga County rightfully deserve. Our Secretary of State, Frank LaRose, has been very supportive of our effort to secure a new Board of Elections headquarters. The Secretary provided for us a proclamation from his office that expresses his congratulations for this accomplishment, and I accept it with thanks on behalf of the board. As Director Perlotti said, if we build it, they will come. And it would be a travesty if the voters and citizens of Cuyahoga County did not take advantage of this wonderful facility, this wonderful campus that has given them the opportunity to exercise their right to vote in a hospitable way for many generations to come. So it is a pleasure and a privilege and an honor to serve as a member of this Board of Elections and to work with this august body as we serve the citizens of this county so they can exercise their right to vote. At this time, it is my pleasure to present our newest board member, a fellow board member, one who has made great contributions to the board in her short amount of time, the Honorable Melody J. Stewart. Receiver.
Yes, they made me follow a pastor. Thank you all for being here. It is an honor and privilege for me to be a part of this board and this organization. It's a full circle moment for me too. My father retired from the Plain Dealer. So he's up in the pearly gates somewhere smiling down and was always proud of what he called the product when it was produced and we held it in our hands. Thank you to the staff who have worked so hard and the board and everyone who has welcomed me here. I take such pride in this building, being the beneficiary or at least being a candidate statewide and having the privilege of standing in front of many boards of elections across the state. This one is without question the crown jewel. I kid that I joined the Board of Elections and we got a new building. See what a great choice that was? But as Councilwoman Turner constantly reminds me, I had nothing to do with it. And that is true, but I take as much pride in this facility as everyone does. I noticed a spot on the rug over there, as a matter of fact, already. But I agree with the director and the deputy director and the chairman of how Cuyahoga County, I think now, will increase its numbers in voter participation and in-person voting, vote by mail, even going to the polls. It is true, you can only vote once during the election cycle, but you can bring people back to this building to vote as many times as you need to, and you don't have to drop them off and drive around the block. You can park in our lot and come in with them. And so the services, I think, which are already great, will increase exponentially because of the beauty of this building. It is a building that the staff absolutely deserve. It is a building that the citizens of our great state of Cuyahoga deserves. And more importantly, it's the building that our voters deserve. So I echo a thank you to County Exec Ronayne, to our County Council people, and to all of you. And thank you for being here for this great day of ribbon cutting for us. Thank you all.
Thank you, directors, council members, and members of the board. I think because Council President Miller pointed out a few people, I'm going to try to do this, but I always get in trouble because I miss people. So if I miss you, just give a hand. But I do want to thank Mayor Richard Bain for being here today from the city of Pepper Pike, Mayor Eddie Kraus for being here today from the city of Solon. Mayor Mark Sigalka here today with Glenn Willow. We see Mayor Ben Holbert from Woodmere. Have I missed any mayors? Mayor Saborski from Gates Mills, thank you. And I got mayors abound. Mayor Pat Ward. See, David Rosum tells me every time I get in trouble. Mayor Pat Ward from Lyndhurst. And who else am I? I've got former Mayor Katie Gallagher here from Brooklyn, but now works with our team. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Councilwoman Stephanie House-Jones. This is her ward, and we're glad to be in your neighborhood and in your ward and to be a proud anchor with you. Also saw Judge Michael Ryan out there, and I think Judge Manuela Groves. And am I missing any judges? Now, how about council people I've missed? All right, we're good? Did pretty good. Mayor Ward, you snuck in here, and Mayor Simborski. I'm sorry, I wasn't looking this side of the aisle. Speaking of sides of the aisle, it was said a few times, this is a bipartisan achievement, and this is the nature of democracy, that we stand together as Republicans, as Democrats, as independents, no matter, we stand here in this building in the House of Democracy. So it is great to have a bipartisan coalition of board members, directors, and mayors and council members here today with us. I'd be remiss if I didn't also say, as I mentioned, the Health and Human Services office openings will be happening forthcoming. And as we open here, the Board of Elections officially today, there is another tenant in this building, and Dr. Jackie Chisholm, it is good to see you here today. She helps our little people in the community with Step Forward, which is a lot of early education work, but they're upstairs and they're our partner upstairs. A lot of symmetry here with, as was said by Justice Stewart, a media building that turns into a Board of Elections and withholds, continues to uphold democracy, our Health and Human Services next door helping citizens, and our team upstairs helping our young people. There's a lot of good that's going to come in this building. When you think of our lease terms, it's a 50-year lease, and when we think out, it's hard to think out to 2075, right? But let us look back on this building, and let us look back on our aspirations that we cast today to uphold democracy by, as the directors have said, making this a better space, making it more accessible. We called our shot today about early voting and making sure that we increase voter engagement. The board members called the shot, the directors called the shot. Let's live up to it. Let's make use of this space to make no barrier happen and to flatten every barrier to voting. So people aren't waiting in rain and snow because they are queuing up indoors, because people do have a place to park or a transit stop nearby. This is an accessible building. It was chosen for that very reason. I just need to point him out because he's running everywhere with the devastation of down power the last 2 days. Michael Dever was running literally in the streets, helping people out, and does everything everywhere. This man in the white coat there, give him a round of applause. Thank you, Michael. Thank you to you and the team, and was mentioned the IT team as well, and of course the Board of Elections team, but Public Works, they're the ones who got this job done on time and on budget. And speaking of budget, I want to thank County Council. You guys are our partners. This doesn't happen without County Council seeing through the deal terms, making sure this is the best deal for the public. And together, I think we stand today knowing that we are delivering not just great governance to the people and voter access, but a good building and a good deal for the foreseeable future. So let's look back 50 years from now and say, we did it. We upheld democracy. We increased voter engagement because of the building we are in, and that we as neighbors came together to uphold our democracy. And now, without further ado, I have one last task before the ribbon cutting. And then I want to remind you just a little housekeeping. By the way, Matthew Reimer, thank you for all you've done here too out of Public Works. It's just this team I keep looking at that keeps getting it done. We are going to have a tour, walking tour, sort of self-guided. We're going to have snacks outside the building here, just outside this room. But make your way around. This is your space. Go see it. See what the people will see when they arrive. And we welcome our citizens every day to come down and see your house, the Board of Elections, and come see our staff, meet our staff. But this is a place of the people here in Cuyahoga County. Without further ado, I have a proclamation to give to the directors and the board. If you'll just stand with me for a photo with Greg. This goes to the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections. We hope you'll hang it with pride on this day here, June 26th, 2025. We hope it hangs with you till the year 2075, whereby we have done our job to serve the electorate of Cuyahoga County. And this goes to you and your staff here at the Board of Elections. Thanks to the team at the Board of Elections. All right, I'd like to invite the county council members and the mayors, the judges, come on up. Let's cut this ribbon together. Deborah, you better get up here too. Come on up. Anybody wants to be in this, we're gonna cut this ribbon together.
Yeah. So do two rounds, you know how that works. Give the chair. So I don't
There it works.
in the window.
All right. All right, we're ready. Well. Recount. We've heard that word before.
One.
There we go. All right.